Hi, hello, how are you? You're listening to I've Always Said That with your host, Brad, and it is time for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City episode 3. Now, look, pre-warning, not my favorite episode. There's a lot of filler before we get to the beef, you know what I mean? But one positive that we did get out of this episode is we got the taglines. We got the Housewives taglines for the season, and some of them, you know what, actually, I was pleasantly surprised by this group. I thought most of them were pretty funny. So what I've done is I've ranked them from least favorite to favorite. So we'll go through them all. So my least favorite would probably have to be Heather's. My nest is almost empty, and this bird is ready to soar. I mean, very on topic for where Heather is at in her life at the moment, but, you know, not funny, not witty, not quippy. Funny, witty, and quippy. That's the criteria for today, okay? Then we have, I would probably put Whitney. Roses are red. Sorry, no. Roses are redheads. Violets are blue. If you come for me, I'll come for you. Like, yeah, okay, you've got red hair now, sure. And I'm sure someone else has done the whole if you come for me, I'll come for you thing. It's like very basic rhyming sort of thing. A little bit long, in my opinion, and, you know, just not my favorite overall. Then I would probably put Bronwyn. If my closets had skeletons, at least they'd be well dressed. Maybe not in your outfits, Bronwyn. Lisa, I've got up next. I don't go low, I go the distance. You know what? Short, sharp, precise, and Lisa to a T. So I'm not mad at it. Then the top 3, I think, are where it gets good. Mary, I'm just here to eat, drink, and be merry. So true, Mary. So true. And I would love nothing more from you. That's all I want from you. Now, the top 2, I would have a toss-up between. I thought both were really funny. Both made me cackle out loud when I heard them. So I'm very, very pleased with these 2 ladies. But my second place would go to Angie. I'm Greek, and the rest are just a tragedy. Just the way she says, I'm Greek. It's just... It's so good. Angie, I love you. I love your work. But my favorite would have to be Meredith. It's just because, just while you drop lies, I'm dropping the beat. Because she is a world-renowned DJ, if you did not know. And she's just so monotone and just so, like, almost dull in the way she says it. She's like, I'm dropping the beat. I'm like, yes, Meredith, go off. Okay, sure. All right, so opening scene is Lisa planning a party with a guest list, and she's name-dropping people left, right, and center, including Steve Carell. She's name-dropping Daniel Radcliffe and Usher. And I'm like, do you actually know these people? Like, what's the go here? It just seems like a very staged sort of like, I'm planning a party for these A-list celebrities. I'm part of them. I'm one of them sort of vibe. It's kind of just she's pushing for her to be seen as more than, like she said to Heather in the lunch the last episode, like, I live a very different life to all of you. It's like, well, you don't, but okay. Bronwyn goes to lunch with her hubby Todd, and I'm like, Bronwyn, once again, what are you wearing? This cheetah print singlet with the pink bra underneath. I'm like, okay, sure. Anyway, they get onto like a more of a deeper topic. Bronwyn talks about how her dad is now in care with Alzheimer's, and her mum has moved in after a battle with a brain tumor. And it's just really, it's nice to see a different side of Bronwyn and having this sort of actual meaningful conversation on the show. Todd still just seems to hate being a part of the show altogether. Like, he wants nothing to do with it. And I'm just trying to think, like, the dynamic of having Bronwyn's mum live with them, and Todd looks the same age as them, if not older. So I'm like, what's that dynamic like, you know? Angie also has a visit with her father, And they talk about his history being Greek and their identity together. He's such a sweetie. I've always loved Angie's dad, and I love like getting to know him a little bit more. Also, it gives layers to Angie as well. I do love her. She's gorgeous, and he's just really sweet. Like a little cute little history lesson in Housewives. Who would have thought? Back to Bronwyn. Bronwyn is at home with her mum, Muzzy, I think she called her. Muzzy? Okay, that's an interesting name for a nickname for your mother. Because I hear Muzzy and I just think muzzle. And I'm like, not quite in the same realm of things. But anyway, her mum's going through everything like in their old house in North California without her dad being there. So it's obviously like a very hard time for her. Like she feels bad about like getting rid of things possibly if he's not there to go through it himself. And also her dad getting confused between Bronwyn, herself, and her daughter Gwen. And it's just like a very difficult time for all of them. But her mum brings up that it was good that Todd's there to support them financially, and he got her through it. And I'm like, oh, that was a sly little dig, wasn't it? Like, yeah, he's good with his money, you know. And I'm like, okay, sure. Angie visits Heather. See, it's a lot of like this person's going to this person. It's a lot of individual storylines at the moment. I'm kind of just like getting a bit of whiplash going between them, and it's all very like a bit serious and deep. And I'm like, okay, my attention span is not coping with this right now. But yeah, Angie visits Heather, and Heather is renovating after her kids have moved out to get sort of more like of an office space. She's got her third book deal. Did I miss the second one? Like, I know the first one was like a huge storyline being with Bad Mormon, but I don't know what the second one was about. But anyway, Angie reveals to Heather that she's getting a Greek citizenship, and I'm like, oh my god, so fun. But she's also saying that Allegra, her daughter, just does not care. She couldn't care less. She's like, okay, so you make such a big deal about being Greek, and I was like, oh, okay. They also talk about the party the other night and the big blow up from Lisa. And Heather, of course, is trying to play both sides in this situation, as Heather does. But I think both Lisa and Angie just left feeling betrayed. Like, yeah, sure, okay. So, we finally get into the beef of the episode. The ski shooting range, wow, organized by Lisa, and she's brought in her A team of Meredith, Heather, Mary, and the socialite Amy, whose party got obliterated by the argument last episode. The rest of the girls are coming just for lunch. Anyway, so they all do the shooting and everything, and they walk into lunch with the rest of the girls, and there's posters everywhere, poorly photoshopped of like Lisa and all the lawsuits being like, dismissed, dismissed, dismissed. Honestly, the best part of this was Mary walking up to one of them going, what's wrong with this? What happened to the clarity on this? Why is this blurry? And I'm like, Mary doesn't give a fuck. She's like, why is the quality not great? That's all I'm worried about. And it's like, okay. Lisa says that anyone can sue you, and when you're in business, it can happen a lot, which honestly is so fair. I think how she should have approached this is like, I'm going to have a lunch. Okay, if you're going to do all the posters and stuff, no, it's like a bit. It's a funny bit. Just be ready to take on the questions and answer it. Like, have a conversation about it. But she's just like so on the defense and so worked up about it that like nothing is getting sorted. In fact, it's making it worse between everyone. It's just ridiculous. And Bronwyn's like, okay, are these dismissed because they were fake, or did you pay them back? And Lisa loses her fucking mind, and she's like, dismissed because it's none of your fucking business. And it's like, Lisa, what are you doing? You are just digging yourself a bigger grave and making yourself look guilty, if anything. Like, Bronwyn's asking very, like, just clear-cut questions, just trying to get to what actually is going on. And Lisa is not giving anything. She's trying to be, she's looking really shady. They ask about the case about the guy saying he's owed 118 grand, if that's dismissed or they are only denying it. Because Bronwyn explained this very well. I was very glad to have her here. She was like, dismissed and denied are not interchangeable words. Dismissed is like the case has been dismissed. Denied is just the fact that Lisa's legal team has denied its factual basis, I guess. Anyway, they're just going at it. Bronwyn name dropping. Oh, sorry, Lisa name dropping Blake Lively and Ben Affleck again. I'm like, can you stop? Like, what is this achieving? Angie pipes in and she cannot get a word in with Lisa interrupting her, saying she's trying to be Jen Shaw because they have the same brow and lash girl. Lisa, you are grasping at straws. No, Angie should not have made that joke about Jen and about Lisa and Jen at the camper van RV shit. But like, now you're just like really, really stretching here. Now, this is when the waiter comes over to try and get the orders because they're at this restaurant. They have not ordered food yet. They have been yelling at each other for what seems like an eternity, and they haven't even ordered food yet. And she's like, "Hi, sorry to interrupt, but could I please get everyone's food order?" And I'm like, "You poor thing." She's like, "I would be shit." I'm like, "I'm not going in there. Are you kidding me? Like, what the hell?" Whitney finally pipes up and asks a question because they keep saying things, and because sorry, let me get my words right. Whitney's like, we keep seeing things, so we're bringing them up to you to see if they're true. And of course, we're going to talk about them. What do you want us to do? And this is when Meredith finally pipes in saying, just because you see something doesn't make it true. Brittany then pipes in against Meredith, and Meredith saying that she didn't. Oh my God. And sorry, there's too many names for these women. Brittany saying that Meredith didn't defend Lisa, and Meredith being like, you're lying. And then Mary pops in saying that Meredith didn't defend Lisa. And I'm like, oh, when Mary pops in against Meredith, you know, it's getting crazy. So then naturally, Lisa, instead of answering any question, attacks Whitney and the unwinding of her business. Like, how are you unwinding your business? And I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, there's TikToks all about you, Whitney. And Whitney's like, there is a huge difference between TikToks about my business and you getting sued and being involved in lawsuits. Like, what do you mean? She calls Lisa scared, and it like majorly triggers her, and she goes off the fucking rails. Like, it just ends in an absolute screaming match. Whitney gets really heated. She gets called a redneck, and it's just absolutely insane. I'm kind of just watching it. I'm like, this is all over fucking nothing. Like, if these lawsuits weren't a big deal whatsoever, then why are we arguing about it? I couldn't handle it. I'm like, this is actually ridiculous. This episode really just pissed me off. There was just all this like filler content and then just screaming about nothing. If you're going to be screaming, at least like actually say something with your words. I'm just like, Lisa, I don't understand what you're trying to achieve, because what you're trying to achieve is not being succeeded. So I don't know what's going on with these women. I really don't. I hope next episode is better, because this episode was just really shitty and I couldn't concentrate on it. I don't know if it's just my attention span getting lost, but when they just sit around a table and just scream at each other, I'm like, oh, can we like actually move on from this topic? Like, it's just annoying me now. Let me know what you guys think about this whole thing, because Lisa's just looking really shady to me. I think this is kind of turning into a Lisa takedown season, but they're all getting heated over nothing. So I'm excited. I'm still keen for this season. I'm keen for this Greece trip I've seen at the start of the season. So that should be good, but we'll see, shall we? We'll see. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the episode and how you think the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 6 is shaping up, should I say. Remember to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at I've Always Said That .pod. Like, comment, share, subscribe. It really helps us over here. This has been I've Always Said That for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City with your host, Brad. Thank you. You're welcome. Love you. Bye.